Hey adventurers, so today is going to be another book review. This is going to be for More Than A Gunslinger, a more than human novel by J.R. Carrel. This is a fantasy western. It's a low fantasy as well. There's quite a bit of fairy tale or tall tale aspects to this story, and it's just a very fast, very action-packed story. But before I get into the body of this review, I just quickly like to say that if you're liking what you're seeing from an Erudite adventure, we'd really appreciate it if you would like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll get right back into it. So, More Than A Gunslinger is a standalone novel set in Carrel's A More Than Human series and universe. This is a self-published work, and while not completely perfect, most books aren't, it was just a ton of fun. I had so much fun reading this book. I really didn't know what to expect when I went into it, which is actually how I prefer to read books. I prefer just to go into them basically blind. But I have talked to this author quite a bit, and I actually won this book in a giveaway that he was doing. So I was very, very hopeful that I'd enjoy it, even though I didn't know what to expect. I won the book in a giveaway that he was doing, and then a couple months later he mentioned that, he reached out to me and said, I've got an audiobook code, would you prefer, or would you like one? And basically it's like, well yeah, I'll probably be able to get to it a lot sooner if I have an audiobook code, because I tend to listen to audiobooks, well, I do listen to audiobooks way faster than I read physical books, and I can't guarantee when I'll get to a physical book. So he was kind enough to give me one of those so that I probably wouldn't have read the book by now, and we're in May at the time of filming this, and I read this in January. So, yeah. So this was just a super fun book. It's an action, adventure, fantasy, it's a western romp, a lot of fairy tale influence, or because it's set in America, perhaps I should say it's a tall tale. But whatever you want to call it, it was just a fun ride. This book is full of dynamic characters, including our brash, scrappy main character. This is a fun world tied in with many of the classic fantasy races, but utilizing them and doing them in a way that is interesting and that I really haven't seen done before, all the while maintaining and staying true to many of the original aspects and ideas of these fantasy races. There are some similarities to the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher that could be made, but since I know that Carrel likes Butcher, I don't think he'd mind the comparisons, and I'm also sure that he took inspiration from the Dresden Files and from Jim Butcher as he was writing this series. This is a very, very fast-paced story. You never really know what to expect next until it arrives, and the story just completely barrels on. It isn't a terribly long book. Let's see, I want to say it's like 270? Yeah, 270 pages. And the writing seems to be very, very fast-paced, but both of those things actually serve to enhance this book rather than to detract from it. Oftentimes, you'll get books that drag on too long just because the author doesn't know when to quit, or just won't. It feels like they have more story to tell than is necessary. While you want more time to explore the world, you are given just enough to understand what is going on, but still be able to want more and keep you reading it. It's the right amount of information is given that you don't feel like you have to have more to understand what's going on, but you also know that if I got a little bit more, I'd be happy. And that's a really positive thing for the series, because it makes you want to read more of the series and of the world. This book seems to be written, I haven't actually sat down and looked at the words on the page themselves and the sentence structure or anything like that, but based on what I was hearing from the audiobook, it does seem to be written with pretty short and straight to the point sentences, which actually fit the story and the main character very well. It's got very accessible prose, but it's done in a way that are not boring. They're not so plain that you don't have any detail, that you can't envision the world, but they're also not extremely purple in the way that they're done. It's a nice balance, especially for the story being told. And maybe because I live in the United States and I know the culture of the United States and the history of so well that I don't really need as much detail and description, and maybe other people would need more. But for me, it worked just fine. I am very much looking forward to reading more of J.R. Carrel's works. At the moment, he has one other book published, which is called More Than a Vampire, and then he's got a sequel to More Than a Vampire that is supposed to release sometime this year. I'm not exactly sure when, but I'm very excited just to watch J.R. Carrel's writing career continue to grow. He's a super nice guy, and just it's been great to talk to him, and I'm very happy that I enjoyed his book, because that'd be the worst thing for me, is talking to an author that I like, that I know and have some sort of personal relationship with, and then reading the book and not liking it. I just can't imagine doing that, so I'm very happy that I did enjoy his book. So that is my review for More Than a Gunslinger. Thank you guys so much for watching an Erudite Adventure. We post videos every Monday and Thursday, and we have our social medias linked in the description down below. We will see you guys again soon. Stay warm.